Smoke and fire fills the room, visibility is zero, and heated air is banking down with no escape in sight. Even in your own house, one can become disoriented during emergency situations, such as a house fire. It's not often that we are faced with these situations, so we must prepare. I am currently a volunteer firefighter in both Kentucky and Georgia, and have 4 years of experience in the fire service as an explorer, an intern, and a volunteer. I currently attend Eastern Kentucky University for a fire science degree. Fire safety in the home should be the priority of everyone because it can affect anyone at any time. Because of the unpredictability of these incidents, I will inform you about some fire safety precautions in residential homes. While these are merely suggestions, they should be taken seriously. To better prepare and prevent incidents involving fire, we will learn today about fire extinguishers, smoke and heat detectors, and emergency evacuation plans. To begin, let's discuss the importance of fire extinguishers. Having a fire extinguisher and knowing how to use it is important. According to the 6th edition of the Essentials of Firefighting, there are 5 classes of fire and a fire extinguisher for each. Class A is ordinary combustibles such as wood or paper. Class B is flammable liquids. Class C, electrical energized equipment. Class D, combustible metals. And Class K is cooking oils or anything to do with the kitchen. Some fire extinguishers combine these, like ABC fire extinguishers. So these put out ordinary combustibles like wood and flammable liquids and electrical equipment. So today I brought a few fire extinguishers. I'm going to demonstrate the pull, aim, squeeze, sweep method. So basically, you just pull the pin, and for the purpose of not setting off this fire extinguisher, I'm just going to demonstrate. So you pull the pin, and then the nozzle is right here. This is where the agent will discharge. So you aim at the base of the fire, you squeeze, discharging the agent, and you sweep at the base of the fire. So that's basically how to use a fire extinguisher. And on all extinguishers, they will have labeled the type of fire it is used to extinguish. So this is a BC extinguisher, which would extinguish flammable liquids and electrical equipment. And this is just another type of fire extinguisher. The pin is pulled, but it still works the same. And even this one has a little pressure gauge. This one's at 100 psi. So another thing we should talk about is extinguisher locations. So it's very important that your extinguishers are located in proper places, such as along escape routes. So wherever you're going to be traveling to get out the door or out a window, you might want to have one readily available there. And in high-risk areas, such as the kitchen, where over 65% of fires start, the garage or workshops. Any place that there's a high risk of a fire starting, that's where you want a fire extinguisher. Now that we've discussed the basics of fire extinguishers and how to use them, we will discuss smoke and fire detectors in the home. Working smoke and fire detectors in the home are pertinent. So first I'm going to tell you how to check the functionality of a smoke alarm. So this is one that I actually pulled off the ceiling. It's got one button, which makes it very user-friendly. So you want to test these once a month, and by testing them you just press the button. For time's sake I won't press the button, but just to test it you just press the button. You want to change these every 10 years no matter what. So it's pretty simple. The batteries are on the back. According to the 2nd edition of Fire Protection Systems, non-replaceable batteries, you want to change it every 10 years no matter what, even if it's still working. And alarms with batteries that can be changed, you want to change these once a year even if they're still good. Another thing we need to talk about is the location of smoke detectors. So these must be placed inside of every sleeping room and outside of every sleeping room. And you also want a smoke detector, at least one on each level, just for safety reasons. Most people like to put them in their kitchen, but then you're not such a good cook and things start smoking, they'll beep, and then after so many bad meals, somebody's going to take the smoke detector down. It's not really useful in the kitchen. So people like to put them there. Sometimes it's not the best place. Since we've covered smoke and heat detectors, we will now learn how to create an emergency evacuation plan. So creating an emergency evacuation plan is completely necessary, in any type of emergency. So some components of an emergency plan. You want to keep it simple. You don't want it to make it too elaborate, where it's maybe not understandable or can be misinterpreted. You just basically draw your house and then have routes from every single room that might be occupied, especially sleeping areas, to get out of the house. And according to NFPA.org, or the National Fire Protection Association, you want at least 2 ways out of each room and window. So that could be a window and a door, 2 doors, but at least 2 ways out of every room. And one last thing to remember about the plan, components of it, you want to pick a major landmark outside of your house, such as a mailbox, a stop sign, a neighbor's house, even just a large tree, that you all meet at in the case of an emergency. Some other things to remember, you want to walk through the plan at least 2 times a year. You will also want to be sure that the route is clear of any debris or anything blocking doors or windows. And you also want to make sure that everyone in the household helps make this plan so everyone is familiar with it. So if you have small children in the house, you want to make sure it's easy for them to follow or have them color it. It just to get them involved in this plan. So I've informed you about some of the fire safety precautions that should be considered in residential homes. And today we have learned about the functionality of fire extinguishers, smoke and heat detectors, as well as an emergency evacuation plan in the home. If you do not want to find yourself in the situation that I began with, like smoke banking down and a superheated room, take the precautions I have given seriously. Thank you.